So if you were in my live the other day, you heard me, I kind of caught myself because I had a fragrance that is a new release as of about a month ago that I completely forgot to review for you guys by Yves Saint Laurent. It is L'HOMME EAU de Parfum. So I was looking at the store about 6 months ago. I heard it came out. It was released on Joma Shop for a day and then it disappeared, never came into stores. And then all of a sudden, about a month ago, it came back out. I went out, I smelled it, didn't buy a bottle because one of my friends was sending me the decant of it. And I'm not a huge fan of it, but I will let you know exactly what I get from it. So this video, I finally remembered because of you guys to do my review for L'HOMME EAU de Parfum by Yves Saint Laurent. And that's what I'm gonna do in this video. So without further ado, let's get it. Alright, my great smelling dudes, welcome back to my channel. This is Randy, aka Fragrance Dude, back with another fragrance video. Thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate it. If you're new to my channel, please subscribe. If you are not, please like, comment, subscribe, hit the bell, all that good stuff if you want my videos sooner. I really appreciate all of you guys. Again, I'm going to be doing a review of another new release. This came out on Joma Shop for about a day, 6 months ago. It was released in my Ulta store for about 2 days and then it disappeared. Then it finally came back about a month and a half ago, and I was doing so many releases at that point in time because there was like 10 releases between the end of July and early September that I kind of just pushed this one to the wayside because some of my stores didn't have it in, and when they did get it in, I didn't really love the smell, but I'll tell you what I get from it. It is Yves Saint Laurent L'HOMME EAU de Parfum. I'm going to talk while you guys look at the bottle. I took a bunch of videos of it. It is orange fluid, just like you would see in the LNDL Eau de Parfum. It has a little bit darker of a cap. It looks like all the other L'HOMME bottles, and honestly, I'm getting fucking sick of it. They have released bottle after bottle after bottle of this line, and it's just, to me, it is a little bit too much. I think they need to call it quits for this and the LNDL lines. They need to scrap it, move it down to maybe like their 3 or 4 best. Just leave them there and then do a brand new line, not continuously release and release and release. Because it just kind of, even if they come out and they're good, it's just like meh. There's just so much going on. Maybe 1 out of 10 is good usually, like great, I mean. And that's where this one falls in. It's good, not great. So, what I get from, I'll tell you the note breakdown first for the Eau de Parfum. So the top notes are bitter orange and bergamot, mid notes are lavender and geranium, and the base notes are cognac, oak, vetiver, and cedar. So this is a woody citrus aromatic fragrance, and when I first sprayed this on when I was in Ulta, or Sephora, wherever the hell I was, I thought to myself, hey, that reminds me of the original, just a little bit warmer and boozier. The original is that ginger and stuff like that, so I figured there was ginger in this. When I got home and I sprayed them next to each other because I got this from my friend, and so I decided I wasn't going to pick up a full bottle. With that said, I went to my room, I tried it out, tried it next to the original. It doesn't really smell anything like the original. It does have that L'HOMME vibe, but it doesn't have that ginger aspect that you get from the original one. With that said, when you first spray this on, you don't get a bitter orange. You get just like a zesty citrus orange in the background. But for the most part, you're actually getting the woods from the base, that oak barrel and that cedar, and they're really coming up, mixing with that orange in the background, almost giving it a little bit of like a boozy citrus woods. And the fragrance actually doesn't change that much from there all the way until the base. You do get some lavender and geranium through the mid after about 10 to 15 minutes. It stays there for about 10 to 15 minutes. And then it kind of just gives a little bit of freshness, a little bit of this like floral backbone where the fragrance actually kind of gets a little bit odd. But with that said, it never actually gets bad or anything. It's there for about 15 to 20 minutes, and then it comes, the lavender and geranium more become background notes, but they give it a little bit of freshness, almost making you think, hey, maybe I can wear this for the spring, maybe the summer. To me, this is more of like a daytime fall and winter fragrance, maybe leaning into night as well. Could be a date night fragrance. It could be just a versatile fragrance. I wouldn't wear it to work or anything like that because it does have that warm booziness to it. With that said, you don't really get any of the vetiver. If you do, it just brings a little bit of dryness in there to make it feel like that oak barrel I was telling you about. But for the most part, that citrus starts to dissipate at about a half hour, and then you're left with like a boozy woodiness with a little bit of like a floral backbone, like I told you, from the geranium and lavender. Outside of that, there's really not much else going on in this fragrance. It's very linear from the opening to the dry down. Outside of that bitter orange dissipating, you can't really feel that bergamot in there hardly at all, except for maybe like I said, it was just like an orange citrusy vibe. The only thing is maybe that bergamot's giving off a little bit of citrus. The main notes you really need to know is that bitter orange, the geranium, and that oak. And then honestly, you just put those all together, mix a little bit of cognac in there. The cognac stays there from the opening to the dry down. And then in the dry down, it is that same exact thing without the citrus, just like a woody aromatic booze. Overall, it's a decent fragrance. It's not one, my wife does not like it very much. She said it's okay, it's meh, which is pretty much how I feel about almost the entire L'HOMME line. The original is good, it's just dated. This one feels a little bit more modern, and it lasts about 6 hours. It doesn't project heavily at all. It's probably just an average moderate projector, maybe a little bit below or a little bit above, but I would just say moderate for the first 2 hours, and then becomes more of like a closer to the skin scent. But L'HOMME Eau de Parfum, while it is good, I think I would buy it on one of the YSL sales when it's 50% off. I can get it for 40, 45 bucks. Then I would add it to my collection. But right now, I do not think it's worth close to 100. It's just not worth that. With that said, I know people do like it. I know people who do think it's just basic. And to me, I'd rate it probably a 7 out of 10. I think it's just middle of the road, basic fragrance like a lot of the other L'HOMMEs that are out there. But let me know in the comments what you guys think about it. There's really not much else to say about it. Fall and winter fragrance. It's kind of like a day or night fragrance for the fall and winter, just like the original L'HOMME. Outside of that, I would just say it's okay. But thank you guys so much. I really appreciate it. Again, I'll be back with another one. If you guys have any other questions, just let me know. All right, thank you guys so much. Like, comment, subscribe. Peace.